And what are the returns typically, or how did you structure the syndication? Like what were you kind of projecting to investors about like, hey, this deal is going to be performing X? Like, was it a cash flow play? Like, what's the selling point on a mobile home park investment for as an LP, I guess, or as limited partner?
Sure. Yeah, mobile home parks are really, really different. They're kind of all across the board. There's kind of maybe more often a bigger value add component, and that was the
Mm,
case with these parks that I bought in Georgia. Some of the things that were kind of oddball about this park, which is not uncommon in the mobile home park business, is that the owner of the parks was only accepting cash. So he would go to the park a couple times a week and collect
oh,
cash from his tenants.
from the tenants. Got it.
From the tenants, yeah, right. So, he hadn't raised rents in, 10 or 12 years. And, I'm not sure exactly what he was doing, but there was a
Mm,
likelihood that he wasn't reporting all the cash and,
right.
maybe giving certain tenants discounts if they just wouldn't complain about maintenance repairs or if they did some work on the property for him.
Yep.
So yeah, and again, a park like this too, it was about 60% occupied,
Okay.
and it's probably less common that you'd see it, in this case, a 71 space mobile home park. It would be that have that occupancy compared to that size apartment.
Yeah.
Usually a property that big is more professionally run and, might not have that low occupancy. So yeah, so for that first deal, I was offering investors a 9% preferred return, and our targets over the projected 5-year hold were around 18 to 19%.
Mm,
But there was a value add component as well, because we had to fill in some vacant lots, try to get rents closer to market as we kind of went through our business plan.
and you said it was 71 spots?
71 pads was actually between two parks about a mile and a half from each other
Got it.
in this
And
town
were
called Milledgeville.
these, I know one of the, I did a little bit of research on mobile home parks a few years ago because it was everybody and their brother was kind of starting to talk about mobile home parks. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, cool. Maybe I should think about that. And so I started asking people that were doing it. And they're like, you want to make sure you find one that doesn't have a lot of property owned units.
Mhm.
So you really just want to own the dirt and the
Mhm.
pads.
Mhm.
You don't want to actually own the physical mobile home because then you always
Mhm.
have to take care of it and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Is that kind of how you thought about it? Was more around make sure either try to own as little of the actual physical unit as you possibly could and make sure you just only own the dirt, so to speak.
Well, I kind of went in the opposite direction, and but it really, I don't think there's any one right way to do it. In situations where the tenants all own their homes and you're just renting out the pad for them, yeah, that's absolutely the lowest maintenance. You just got to take
Yeah.
care of infrastructure, landscaping, and that. Those parks can be harder to find
Mm.
because those are the ones that everybody wants because they're
Right.
they're easy.
Yeah.
The property management company that I worked with, most of the parks that they were managing, they probably managed 50, 60 parks across the country. They lean towards kind of specializing in park owned home models,
Got it.
that model. But yeah, so again, there's no right or wrong, but like in this park in Georgia, for example, the lot rents for the people that own their homes in the park, we did have some people that own their homes, were between, say, 150 and 225 a month.
Yep.
And for those same lots where we would own the home, we were charging between, say, 500 and 800,
Yeah.
including the lot rent. So, it's like, am I going to get $200 a month or $800 a month? Okay, that's a $600 spread. Probably not going to cost $600 a month to maintain the house and deal with turnover. So if they're run well, you can make more money on a
Yeah.
park owned home in the park owned home model, but there's a lot more hair on those deals. They're harder to manage. There is higher turnover. So again, there's kind of no right or wrong. It just kind of depends what kind of park you want to run.